Welcome to my YouTube channel, all about economics. In this video, I will discuss about the Ricardian theory of rent. This theory propounded by the David Ricardo in his book as Principle of Political Economy. According to the Ricardo, rent is that portion of the produce of the earth which is paid to the landlord for the use of the original and indestructible powers of the soil. Assumptions. 1. Ricardo considered the supply of land as completely fixed, i.e. perfectly inelastic. 2. He does not take into account the various alternative uses to which land can put. He assumes the land to be used for growing single composite crop. 3. Lands have some original and indestructible powers. 4. Perfect competition in the market for land. 5. He assumes that land differs by its quality. 6. Ricardo considered long-run period for his theory. 7. People use most fertile land first for the cultivation. 8. Population grows continuously. The emergence of differential rent in the Ricardian theory can be explained with an imaginary example. There are only 4 plots of land A, B, C, D, labeled in order of their fertility i.e. A is the most fertile plot, B is inferior plot to A, C is inferior plot to B, and D is the least fertile land. It is assumed that corn is being cultivated and that the same doses of labor and capital are being used on these plots. When people first came to this island, they will take up the best grade land A for production of corn. Let the initial demand for corn is 100 quintals, and suppose cultivation of land A is sufficient to meet the demand. But with the growth of the population, as demand for food increases up to 170 quintals, scarcity of land A is felt and inferior land B will be brought under cultivation. Now, the cost of cultivation of land A and B is same, but land A yields 100 quintals of corn while land B yields only 70 quintals. Therefore, land A realizes a surplus of 30 quintals over the yield of land B. It is a producer's surplus or it is a rent claimed by the owner of the land. If, however, demand for food increases still further to say 220 quintals, land C will be brought under cultivation and with the same amount of labor and capital. Land C yields 50 quintals of corn. Now, as compared to land C, land B yields a surplus of 20 quintals of corn while land A yields a surplus of 50 quintals. As population continues to increase, the demand for corn increases and land D will also be brought under cultivation. If land D yields 30 quintals of corn, then land A yields a surplus of 70 quintals, land B yields surplus of 40 quintals and land C yields surplus of 20 quintals. Thus land C, which did not get any rent previously, also earns rent when an inferior quality of a land is brought under the cultivation. Expressing the analysis in money terms, we consider rent as a surplus over the cost of production. Land A, B, C are able to get the surplus or rent respectively as 14,000 rupees, 8,000 rupees and 4,000 rupees. Therefore, according to the Ricardo, the more fertile land yields more rent. Ricardo describes the superior or more fertile land as intramarginal land and the land which is not able to earn any kind of surplus or rent, that land is called as marginal land. Criticisms on the Ricardian theory of rent. 1. Ricardo's view of the concept of rent as a payment made for the use of original and indestructible powers of soils is incorrect. It is difficult to ascertain which these original powers are and which are not. Moreover, in the modern era, one cannot claim anything to be indestructible. 2. There is no empirical evidence in economic history that people first use most fertile land for cultivation. 3. The theory assumes perfect competition, which is unrealistic. 4. In reality, marginal land does not exist. It is difficult to measure differential rent of intramarginal land. 5. According to the modern economists, rent would arise even if land was homogeneous. And according to them, any factor of production would earn rent if there remains an inelastic supply of that factor, that is, if the supply of a particular factor is less than perfectly elastic. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe my YouTube channel All About Economics to watch more videos related to economics.